Like and subscribe on the way in the door, people. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. Today we are going to talk about NBA stars and their road to their first championship. And you all see the picture, the thumbnails. I chose these thumbnails, one of Kevin Durant and one of Michael Jordan, because I think these thumbnails represent the two extremes of the road to victory. Fanboys, come on in and have a seat. Y'all need to hear this one. I've said time and time again on this channel that the road to victory is the most important thing. The road to victory is what's going to determine what your legacy looks like. The road to victory is going to determine how you yourself feel about your victories. You know, it kind of goes back to the same thing, especially those who grew up in my generation. You know, when your parents would say, you know, if you want those Jordans, you better go get a job and save up for them and get them with your own money. And why did parents do that? Because they understood that if you have to work for it, you're going to understand the value of it better, that you're going to appreciate it more than if they just buy it for you. Same thing. That concept never changes. So whenever the Golden State won that championship with Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant's the MVP. I remember seeing that, and I remember thinking to myself, like, for a guy who just won his first championship, Kevin Durant seems Kevin Durant seems pretty not as excited as you would think someone who just won their first championship would be. I don't want to say he seems nonchalant, you know, because I'm certain he was happy to win a championship. But how much could it have meant to him? You know, I think we all know, to me, Kevin Durant is very sensitive, much like LeBron James. Maybe more so than LeBron James. You know, Kevin Durant is known for going back and forth with fans and all that kind of stuff. And I think, you know, I've said it before, I think it's guilty conscience. When you know that the people who are talking have a point. When people say, yeah, you joined the team who was already great to get your championship. Now, you can try to act as if it doesn't bother you. You can try to act as if that's really not the case. But you know in your heart, it is the case. And that's why it bothers you. Because you can't feel as good about it had you gone through a grind. Now, contrast that with the picture of Michael Jordan hugging this trophy, and, you know, you can see the emotion on the picture. And why is that emotion there? Because that is something that not only did you really, really want it, that you were passionate about it, but you had to go through a whole lot to get there. Michael Jordan came into the league humble, you know, saying, hey, I realize the hard work is ahead of me, and I'm willing to take on that challenge. Came into the league to a decrepit franchise, a franchise referred to as the traveling cocaine circus, and help build that team from the ground up. Comes into the league, immediately taking the league by storm. Second year, gets injured in a way that could potentially end the rest of his career. Comes back, you know, drops 63 on Boston. He's facing the Detroit Pistons year after year with no team, fanboys. Remember that. Scottie Pippen gets drafted in '87, and for everybody who wants to act like Jerry Krause was such genius, what it really was is Pippen got to come to a team with Michael Jordan. Mind you, Pippen's first year, he averaged like 7 points a game. Pippen had talent, but a lot of people have talent and don't maximize it. Gilbert Arenas would fall into that category. Someone with talent who never maximized it to what it could be. Jerry Krause drafts Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen comes onto the Bulls, averaging 7 points a game his first season. Second season, I think he might have averaged 13 points a game. But at the end of the day, MJ had to build up Scottie Pippen. And they had to go through Detroit each year getting beat until, and if you guys remember this on The Last Dance, the moment where Michael Jordan said he knew they were going to beat the Pistons was a play where Dennis Rodman shoved Pippen to the ground in a way that could have injured him from the back, shoved him to the ground out of bounds. And, Pippen got up, sat there for a minute, and Jordan said he knew by the way that Pippen reacted in that moment that they were going to win. He understood that Pippen was now mentally tough to take that abuse and not let it affect him, to take that abuse and continue to go to the hole. And, to take that abuse and not let it throw you off your game. Jordan said he knew in that moment that they were going to win. So Jordan went to year after year of him doing everything he can to try to get past his team, but his teammates just not being mentally strong enough to withstand the Detroit Pistons. They finally break past the Pistons, and it cannot be overstated about the football that Detroit was playing. So he finally gets past the Pistons, and they face the Lakers in the finals. And fanboys, despite everything that you guys try to say about Magic being old and blah, 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 the consensus in the media was that the Lakers were going to win. They were the championship-proven team. People did not think Chicago was going to beat the Lakers. And game one happens. I'm pretty sure Chicago loses game one, but Jordan says because Chicago didn't play well and they still were able to keep it close, Jordan said he felt like he knew that they could beat the Lakers. Anyway, they did go on to beat the Lakers. And they beat the Lakers, and you get the picture that you are seeing on the thumbnail. A Jordan who is emotionally taken by the moment. A Jordan who has went to hell and back to capture this trophy that he is now holding. A Jordan who has went through the criticisms of himself, saying that, hey, you can't win without a big man. Or saying, hey, you can't win and lead the league in scoring. Or saying, hey, at one point they were saying, hey, you don't have a jump shot. You can't go left. You don't play defense. And along this path, Jordan proved all of those things to be untrue. Winning Defensive Player of the Year, developing a jump shot, developing a great left hand dribble, and being able to finish at the rim left-handed. Jordan goes through all these things. The Detroit Pistons, who are trying to injure him, who could have possibly injured him in the rest of the Chicago Bulls at any moment. And he deals with all the doubt, all the criticism of he can't do, and finally breaks through. And when he gets that trophy, you can see how much it means to him in this picture. Now, other players, Kevin Durant, who chose to team hop. He followed in LeBron's footsteps. He chose to team hop. He chose to go to a team that had already won a championship. He chose to go to a team that had certified superstars on it already. He chose to go to a team who didn't need him. And I hate to say this. I'm a Steph Curry fan, but Steph is a product of this generation. And, Steph Curry was conspired to bring Durant to Golden State. So Steph Curry doesn't get a pass from this. This generation of superstars, they just don't want to compete. I'm sorry. I like Steph Curry, but he was part of that conspiring to bring Durant to Golden State. Same with D Wade. I used to be a big D Wade fan. But when he got on Club #1 Fanboy and talked about how because Kobe won the championship that he decided to conspire with LeBron James. That made me look. I never view him the same way again, which, he was already doing things to change the way I view him anyway. But, so to me, the road to the championship, fanboys, it's all about that. LeBron James. Had LeBron James stayed in Cleveland, even if he only wound up winning 1 or 2 in Cleveland, those 1 or 2 championships would have meant a lot more. There's which, we can see this in the fact that, the championship he won in Cleveland, I think those were real emotions. But guess what? He didn't have those emotions in Miami when they won. Why is that? Why is that, fanboys? Why did LeBron have that same kind of reaction in Miami? If you, the kid from Akron, who grew up dreaming of making it to the NBA, who got to meet his idol Michael Jordan at some point, who basically told him keep working and you'll get there, something to that effect. And he finally gets to the NBA. And he's drafted to Cleveland. And he stays on there, until he gives up, decides to go to Miami, where he wins his first championship. But no tears when they win that first championship. You would think that someone the kid from Akron, who he loves to bring that up every chance he gets. I'm just a kid from Akron. But no. He had no emotion. He was excited on that championship, I'm sure, because LeBron James loves praise. But he did not cry until he went back to Cleveland and won that championship. And despite, despite the circumstances around him winning that championship in Cleveland, which I think are suspect, Draymond getting suspended, that was fishy. But I think part of the reason that brought the emotion out of LeBron is that it was a 3-1 comeback. No matter the circumstances of how it happened, I think just the scenario of coming back from 3-1 meant something. That provided some sort of obstacle that made it more fulfilling when he won. Now, a lot of things are still, again, suspect. It's like the same thing. It's like, to me, he never gives Kyrie enough credit for that win. He very much takes all of the credit for that win every time you hear him talk about it. Which, he should be sharing that win with Kyrie equally. But again, if not getting too much into the details, I think the reason that LeBron James had emotion was because it was some sort of obstacle. So yeah, how you do it matters, fanboys. The road to the championship is the most important thing. The road to the championship is what defines your legacy. The road to the championship is what's going to determine how you feel about it. It's what's going to determine, it's what's going to put the meaning on that trophy. Because otherwise, it's just a trophy. Otherwise, it is just a trophy. And you might as well purchase it. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys remember seeing Kevin Durant win his first championship, do you guys, did y'all share the same feeling that I felt? Is just looking at this guy, I was just like, man, he just is not showing a lot of excitement for someone who just won their first NBA championship. And I think we all know why that is. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I will see you next time. All right.